Hello. Thanks for agreeing to set up this interview. As you know, we only have a short amount of time, so let's go ahead and get started right away. Now, I know that you've been involved in some work on community issues. Can you tell me what attracted you to the community issue that you chose at the beginning of the semester?
Thanks, Bryce. I appreciate you taking your time to sit down and talk to me this afternoon. For my choice of my community issue, I chose the topic of college debt. And I chose this for multiple reasons. And the first being, I currently use student loans to help pay for some of my tuition. And I wanted to learn more about how long it takes for an average undergraduate student to repay most of their debt. The second reason I chose this was my target was my audience. My audience was entirely made up of college students, and I know that some of them in the room used financial aid and student loans in some way to help pay for college. And third, student debt was a highly debated topic during the presidential election process, and I wanted to have a good background when it came time to make a vote and watch the debates.
Okay, thank you. Now, your materials also said that you were involved in a community issue team project that focused on a call to action. Can you share with me what call to action your team put forward and why you chose that call to action?
Absolutely. My group did research on elderly people behind the wheel, and when it came time to present our call to action, our leading principle was to maintain the freedom of the individual involved in each individual case. We found in our research that we had many factors that led to the increased risk of elderly people being involved in either a traffic crash or an accident. Some of the factors included the decreased sharpness of their senses and the impact of a lot of the side effects of the medications that elderly people are most commonly known to take. When it came time to ask our audience to do something, we asked our audience to have a conversation with their parents and their grandparents about the potential risks involved while driving at an elderly age. We provided them with resources and factual information that we hoped would help them make a decision that was beneficial for their entire family.
I see. Now, if I were to ask the other members of your team what they think your biggest strength is, what do you think they would say, and why do you think they would say it?
If I were to ask the other members of my team what my greatest strength that I brought to our presentation was, I would hope that they would say it was the level of detail that I provided in my portion of our speech. I used data that I thought I grabbed from credible sources like AAA, AARP, Center for Disease Control and Prevention, and I really wanted to get this really good information to try to make our presentation really stick out amongst the others in the class. And I knew this was a sensitive topic for many people, and so I wanted to provide a high level of detail and accuracy, which would then help the credibility of our speech.
Okay, great. What for you was the most challenging thing about working with your team?
I think the most challenging part of working in a team for any class in college is trying to find a time to meet and prepare for whether it's a speech, a presentation, a project, whatever it may be. And it's mainly because we have so many different schedules and everybody is just so busy with so many different things. But when we were first assigned, I knew it was important to brainstorm some of the possible topics we could cover, and then to come up with some subpoints and sub details to really make our speech one of the best. We created an outline that allowed us to organize our speech, and then we were able to split up each section of our speech, and which helped our entire group. But unfortunately, we had one group member who was difficult to get a hold of when we tried to make time to practice and prepare for our speech. And oftentimes, this individual would come unprepared, and that created the need for us to meet again, which was difficult as usual. But my other group member was actually one of my roommates, so I was able to bounce ideas off him when it came time to write my part of the speech. And it also helped on our transitions between speakers, which I thought were really good in our speech.
Thank you. Okay, last question. In 30 seconds or so, tell me what your biggest takeaway was from COM 110 this semester. What will stick with you and be useful to you?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing I'll take away from COM 110 will probably be the confidence that I developed from speaking in front of the class many times. When I signed up for this class, I was nervous, I was unsure about my speaking abilities, and I still consider my public speaking skills a work in progress. But I know that with each and every opportunity that I get to speak, they improve. And with some of the little adjustments and speaking strategies that we learned about in large lecture, I know that they'll stick with me in the future and help me become a better speaker.
All right. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me. We'll probably be in touch with you in the next few weeks or so. Take care.
Thank you.